to something that you've been mature enough to focus an incredible amount of time on. And there's something that to show for it, other than just say, I did this. Because and that's the same thing for getting into college, it's the exact same thing for getting into medical school. Because most people that are getting into medical school, most people that are applying to medical school have pretty darn good grades, and is a 34 on the MCAT better than a 32? Not really. I don't think that's driving the decision. It's something that's unique. Political involvement, anything. And so there's no right or wrong answer what it is that you do, but it's got to be something that is different. Pianos, music, dance, whatever, doesn't matter. Volunteer, something. But you got to be really good at it. You got to have a way to demonstrate that, not just say that you're passionate about it, but hey, I'm passionate about it and committed, and this is why, and look, this is what's come of this activity. And so, for me in college, I did do they still have outstanding seniors here?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I was an average good student. I had good grades, but nothing like some of my peers. In my med school class at Emory, we had more kids from Lakeside of all races and gender than any other school in the country. There was more Lakeside representation but everybody was different different. Everybody had a unique thing about them that differentiated them from the rest of the group. But that need to differentiate yourself from the pack, something that you look at it and you're like, interesting. This person has done this, and look how they not just signed up for some activity, they excelled in it, or they showed a extreme commitment and passion for that activity, whatever it is. It could be anything. Yes.
Do you think going to the University of Virginia was worth it's considered like a better education than the University of Georgia, I guess? Not a better education, but a better school. Do you think it was worth going there to pay more money than going to the University of Georgia?
Well, it's not that's a loaded question, because I loved college.
Yeah.
And I would not trade that in for anything. But the short answer is no, it doesn't matter that much. It matters more how you perform in whatever school you go to. That's what matters most. And at the time, Georgia has a totally different reputation. Any Georgia school has a totally different reputation than they used to. But if you're going to go to Georgia, you have to find out what Georgia's strong in. You're going to have a lot of people going against, a lot of competing students. It's a bigger school. So no, wouldn't have made any difference if I had gone to Georgia or Virginia or Duke or Harvard. Would not have made one bit of difference for me. But what I was saying is, if you're going to go, it would be much better off going to Georgia and having a high 3.8 plus GPA than going to a Ivy League school and being an average performer at that school. I think that's my opinion. I don't think I have data to back that up. But my opinion would be to stay closer. Don't pay. I mean, I'm a parent now, so I'm like, I would have thought of my child, me paying that much for her college when I see how much effort she puts forth in school. I'm like, no way. It's not worth it. So if school is not your thing, I mean, you shouldn't be going into medicine, number one. But and that's okay. Like my oldest daughter is, she's a good student. She's not a great student. She's one of these people. Yep, I studied. I'm done. I was like, well, do you know it? Yeah, but I already studied. I was like, that's not what I asked. And, do you know it? I've studied for it. I'm done. And she's done. I'm like, okay. Am I going to pay $15,000 for her to go to college? No. Or $100, whatever it is now.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Actually, I have one
Yeah, go
question.
ahead.
Does it matter what major you take? Because I know a lot
No.
of people, it doesn't.
No.
Okay.
So that was one of my biggest regrets. So I went to and you don't know this while you're choosing, I thought you had to major in science in college, right? So I majored in chemistry. Huh, what a mistake that was. Is that what you like? And I majored in chemistry because I was like, God, I'm taking all these sciences and chemistry classes, might as well just finish it up, right? And so the problem with that is to go, at least in the past, I'm sure it hasn't changed that much, you have to take a year of regular chemistry, general chemistry, a year of organic chemistry, a year of biology, and a year of physics. Minimum, that's what you have to take to apply, those are prerequisites for medical school. And I think they also want you to take biochemistry. So I'm like, well, geez, I'm almost there. So I took biochemistry, I took biology, so all I had left to take was physical chemistry, mistake, and analytical chemistry, a year, mistake, all with labs. And by that time, I was burned out on it. I loved organic chemistry for whatever reason. It was very much problem-solving based. I just thought it was so cool. But at the end of the day, I would have much rather majored in history or English literature. I mean, that's what I like to do now, as far as what I like reading about. So I would have and I liked it in high school. So I would have much rather taken my prerequisites, gotten through it, and then focused my time on a major of something that you're interested in. Because if you're not really interested in it, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is, philosophy, French, whatever. If you do something that you're interested in, I think you'll perform better. You get excited about it a little bit. And for me, at Virginia, which had a very strong history department and government and foreign affairs, I regret not doing that instead, because I hated chemistry by the time I was done. And I did it because I thought you had to major in a science which would help you get into medical school. Not true. But you do have to take those requisite science classes. But after that, extra ones don't really help. All the P-Chem, which was heavy on calculus and stuff, didn't make any impact on my performance in medical school at all. But I did like organic. And those things may change. I mean, you always have to do biology. If you love biology, major in biology, but don't major in one of the sciences because you think you need to major in science to look good for medical school. I think it's a mistake.
Any other questions, guys? Okay, thank you.
All right.